a podcast video. We're going, dog. Pura vida, bienvenidos, everybody. This is Dylan, my best man, my right-hand man, my Hanuman, my best friend, good worker. And yeah, we're just coming here from the house. Been doing work today as normal. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is farmer's market prep for the feria. We got Instagram live going, so give us any questions. We'll get to your questions as priority, but we're also filming a YouTube video, and Dylan and I are just gonna have a free form, open conversation about the world and about anything, right, bro?
Yeah.
So give us questions, we'll rant, and all we're trying to do here, my intention, is to improve all of our lives, to expand our consciousness, expand our education on information, discuss, argue, try to figure shit out about all things in life, and just answer your questions about our life here in Costa Rica and what we're doing. We're doing a lot. But Dylan, yeah, open it up and share, tell them a little bit just quickly about who you are and what's it been like generally. Now you've been in Costa Rica almost 3 months with me.
Yeah, well, I was living in Hawaii, and Jackson told me the situation here in Costa Rica.
Speak up a little bit.
And everything that he's trying to do out here. So I just flew out here from Hawaii, and it's been great. It sucks that all this Corona stuff is happening now.
I mean, sucks and it doesn't suck, you know?
Yeah.
It's complicated, it's nuanced.
Yeah.
Lluvia? See, starting to rain.
We can't go to the beach and stuff, but it's still pretty nice. Yeah, life is awesome here. We're really living a sustainable lifestyle that's, we grow our own food in our garden and stuff, and we're trying to work towards becoming fully sustainable off Jackson's land.
Hell yeah. So I'd say, we spend a lot of time gardening and building raised beds out of just materials we find around the land mainly. We've had to buy a few things, but running a garden is, a couple hours of work a day in terms of constructing it.
The bigger it is.
Wanting to actually produce good stuff, propagating things so that, you have to have an area that's going to seed, you have to have an area that you're harvesting. There's a lot of planning. So I've been taking more of the social media work in terms of editing the videos. Dylan's been doing a lot of farmers market food prep and gardening and stuff like that. Let's see if we have any questions before we start talking about stuff. Let's see who's in the house. What's up, Chubby Guzzler? Preet, good to have you. We never go live anymore. I know, but we're changing things. I got a girlfriend now, building a house, rescued a second dog. We're shaping up. And so it's time to be the best vegan permaculture off-grid Costa Rica YouTube channel ever. So that's why we're going to post every damn day and bring you entertainment and information and inspiration. I'm so different from you, but I really love seeing how you live and following your posts and stories. Thank you so much, Sweet Sundance. That's cool. I imagine I bet all of you can relate to me in certain aspects, and you probably think I'm crazy in other ways. I mean, I'm kind of an extreme person. Let's just take a look at me. I'm covered in ink, pretty obsessed with fitness. I'm also a yogi. I'm also a mainstream person and like to work and make some money. And I'm a freaky dog dad. I'm open to, consciousness expanding experiences. And I just, I don't take shit. I have strong opinions. I'm educated. I've had a lot of life experience, and I think the things I think, and I'm not afraid to share them. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. I love showing my vulnerabilities and the things that I am struggling with, because I know just through my human experience, there's nothing I'm going through that is unique. In that there's nothing I'm struggling with or doing that all of you don't understand and haven't struggled with in some form of another. So the way that I feel good is when the people I love around me share the things that we're all struggling and going through, so we realize that we're all in this together. none of us are even victims, and we're not even on like a downward trend. It's just life is struggle and suffering and pleasure. It's a roller coaster, and the more you share that and are open about it, you realize like everything that's happening in life, even if it feels like a negative, is sort of just an experience to get you forward to be the best version of yourself. So I'm glad you like my videos, even though we're very different people, and I understand that. I'm kind of crazy. Any plans for growing cacao? What do you think, Preet? Of course. How am I going to keep Natalia here if I don't grow cacao? But even before Natalia, of course I wanted to grow cacao. This is one of the cacao meccas probably of the world. We're very close to the equator. There's a huge kind of expat, permaculture, raw foodists, just people who love food and plants community vibe here. So cacao is such a medicine and such an incredible potent plant and aphrodisiac and stimulant and everything that it's a huge area for cacao. We have the Cacao Institute in San Jose that keeps like hundreds, but tons of different varieties of cacao. There's local farm bean to bar cacao operations in this local area. Yes, we're going to be planting cacao, and in fact this June is when we're planting 300 trees. The initial planting for my retreat center and fruit farm is happening in just a month and a half, and we're going to have cacao trees being put in there. So yeah, and there's tons of neighbors that have cacao trees that I go and see. Natalia and I found tiny little cacao fruits on the tree on a neighbor's place the other day. It was so cool. Are you going to incorporate any art at your new spot? Maybe art residence could be a thing. Emily, of course. So one of the I'm building my ceramic studio, which you're gonna love because you're a ceramics art teacher. I'm building the ceramic studio while we're building my house. It's gonna be like my little man cave just in the side corner of my property where I'll do all my art. We're gonna make art, sell art. I'm gonna have artists come in to mural out the inside and outside of my house. Big trippy sculptures on the land. I want all of it. Imagine like someone building like a 20-foot like meditating Buddha out of bamboo, and I just like give you room and board for the month for you to build that out of natural materials in our area. We're doing all of that. I mean, I want to create the trippiest, most inspirational, profound space of yoga, food, sustainability, self-love, education. So we're gonna do everything we can in order to build the most epic place to cultivate that energy. So art has to be a huge part of that, because art is what inspires us to break through the barrier of whatever like conventional normal bubble we maybe grew up in. Art inspires us to reject the things that no longer serve us and move forward with whatever our heart desires. Dylan, speak up when you want, but don't worry, this is all, it just is what it is. Dylan's here and it's great. Mitch the human, hello. Tell us about your girlfriend. Also, Preet, you know my girlfriend. You know how lucky I am to have Natalia in my life. Natalia is my new girlfriend, everybody. Found her through a mutual friend and through the internet, and we have connected, and I'm just in pure gratitude that she has given me the opportunity to share this time of our life together and see what we can build and grow. And she is from Tijuana, Mexico, and she is a sustainability yoga teacher, highly educated farmer, spiritual being, which is exactly the kind of woman that I would love to be with. And I'm very grateful, and we're the same age, and she's so fun and silly and beautiful, and that's all I can say is thank you, God. I've been waiting for so many years to try to find someone to potentially build a life with, and this feels like the most on track with that that I've ever experienced in my life. And Dylan can attest to that, because Dylan was here before Natalia, and he, you know, was hearing me talk about her and how I felt.
Yeah,
and like,
you're so excited.
Isn't it crazy what has manifested?
Yeah, and like your mentality's shifted since she got here.
Really has. I mean,
really know what you want to do.
Yeah, think about it. Like, I was a single traveler with no apartment, no house, no girlfriend, no responsibility. So of course there were certain things in my daily behavior that I'm not even gonna say were bad. I don't believe in bad and good. It's just you change when you start to add on responsibility and love, and you get older, and now I'm building a house. It's like life just went from being like kind of like Dylan. Like, you're right, Dylan's a 20-year-old traveler. You know, I mean, Dylan has an amazing story. You should do a whole video just for my YouTube channel, just you talking about leaving college, studying guitar, being a Hare Krishna monk. Dylan has
did a lot of shit.
Dylan's done a lot of shit, but I can relate. He's this young, just free spark, just doing all these things and changing every year and going deep into things. And I've been that until, you know, just recently, when a bunch of things came into my life, and I have this new focus, and I have like steady work, and I have my relationship, and I'm building my future here, and it feels good. Like, I know I talk a lot online about how beautiful it is to not have responsibilities and to try to make your life simpler, and I 100% agree with that. I think most of us add on too much responsibility too quickly, and then we get trapped and we get stuck, and then we're going on a path in life that we no longer are controlling. We're just trying to like please other people in our life, and I think that's such bullshit. I think there's no right answer to this life other than for you to wake up every day and keep yourself in check and say, am I doing today what is worthy and meaningful for the life that I want to live? Because if you're not doing that every day, and then one day you die and it's all just bzz, what was the point? There's no real even consequences to this life. Like, I always talk about consequences, like the more fossil fuels you use, there's consequences for my children when they're gonna have higher sea levels and whatever. But like, I've realized my whole life, I've realized now that everything I say in life, when I talk about principles and ethics and consequences, those are real and science-based decisions within our like material 2020 world. But you have to also weigh that out with nothing matters. There's no right answer. There's no consequences to anything, because we're all gonna die, and who gives a shit after we die? Other people are gonna have to deal with that. So it's like this like caring about the future of the world, but also just living your best life. And I've combined those things. It's like I live lightheartedly, I have fun, I don't let things really get to me, but I try every day in this material world to also do things that help the world. Try to be more sustainable, more inspirational, more compassionate, but never getting too serious, because when we get too serious, then we might start making decisions that are pleasing the ego or pleasing other people, rather than honoring that we truly are just animals here for a few years to feel something meaningful. And I know the things that make me feel meaningful are when I'm in the present moment, I'm in nature, maybe I'm naked, I'm a little wild. Like, I don't like to be confined and do things that everyone else is doing. Like, usually when I see that, I'm just like, doesn't feel authentic to me. I like to feel life intensely. I like to, this morning I wake up early with the sun, when the sun comes up, and I explored a new river, and I got naked and like sat in a cold little stream with no one around that I haven't done. It's just, I like to get weird. Feel it. Feel the shit.
Yeah. And I think another thing about the difference in mentality between ages, like what you're focused on versus what I'm focused on. Like, a lot of people I meet out here in Costa Rica, they're either like me, like traveling and young and still figuring stuff out, or they're like settled down and like ready to start a family and like found their home base here in Costa Rica, and they already have kids. So yeah, it's like, I'm not saying it's one or the other, but I think with age, you like start to focus on what you want.
Of course.
Yeah.
For sure. Elsa asks, could you do a video going through your plans for the new house and land, etc.? Yeah, I feel like in all my vlogs, you're gonna see me building this vision over the next few months. Like the last vlog I just posted this morning, you see a little bit on my land. So you're gonna see it. There's not just gonna be one video showing the plan. Every video, we're gonna be talking about it as it comes together. But here's where we are as of now. As you know, 6 months ago-ish, I bought 3 acres, 1.2 hectares of land here in rural southern Costa Rica, and my intention is to build a home a retreat center to host you guys to come experience this land and this lifestyle. And on the land, what we are going to be doing is growing the highest quality food possible, and the most exotic and interesting foods. Here, the specialty things that come to my head first are unique varieties of bananas, the sweetest pineapples, durian, jackfruit, chempedak, lychees, rambutan, avocados, papaya, maracuya, passion fruit, granadilla. We have snake fruit, and we have Rollinia, biribas, which is like a custard apple fruit. So we're going to be growing the best exotic organic foods. We're going to be growing tons of vegetables. You can grow all the stuff you like here: kale, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, pumpkins. I know a lot of those are fruits for you veggie snobs out there. I appreciate it. So we're going to be growing tons of food. We are going to be appreciating and respecting the land. That means solar power. We have a water source on the land. That means we're not going to be using municipal treated water. We are going to be digging down into the earth and bringing that water filtered by Mother Earth that's already there flowing in my land to the surface so that we can drink and bathe with it. We are going to, I said solar. We're going to have composting toilets. So when you poop, we are going to dry that out and harvest the poop eventually so that our nutrients can go directly into the food that we grow. So that's the plan, but more specifically is I've teamed up with a local Costa Rican architect. His name is Randall. He specializes in bamboo. He understands my vision. He's young. And he has designed, a beautiful home that we are building with a saltwater swimming pool. And that is happening right now. So we've just started that. It's been months and months of background work. I've had to figure out so much, guys. I've had to get permits and buy land, and I have lawyers, and it's such a funny, different lifestyle than what you guys are used to. With me, just being a free-spirited, random traveler with no responsibilities, but it's so fun for me because I love delving into projects that are difficult and crazy and just trying to figure it out. So this house is being built right now, and it's gonna take like 8 months until we can move in. It's a 1,600 square foot house. And then from there, once my house is built, and then this June, we're planting 300 trees. So once we have my garden, my fruit orchard, and we're living in my house, which is gonna be in like 9 months from now, all that will be real. I can start hosting events from there. And then once you guys start coming, we're living on the land, doing yoga, going to the beach, hosting events. Then maybe the next year, I'll build the guest house. Then the next year, I'll build the epic yoga deck. It's like, there's going to be many chapters of this utopia of vegan, tropical. I don't even want to say vegan. It's just, vegans and non-vegans are invited, but it's just a place of sustainability and compassion and fruit life and plants. And that's what we're doing. So we're just chipping away at it. But right now, the house is in full force. The fruit orchard's going in June. And from there, we'll start bringing you guys and just keep building on the land as it goes on. I think that answers the question for now. High Mountain Institute in the house. Mango Love Beast, what's up? Can't wait to visit. Thanks, Preet. Also, does Costa Rica have such retreats, or would this be a first off? Oh no, Preet, this is very generic for Costa Rica. I don't want to say generic. I'm not a generic person. I do everything better than everyone else. I'm sorry, it's my narcissism and my ego. So I promise you we're going to be building the most epic retreat center. But no, this area even specifically has tons of it. Costa Rica is a place for people to come to experience nature, sustainability, Pachamama. There's tons of protected land, and to grow your own food and be sustainable and be spiritual. That's a common theme in this whole country. So there's tons of different retreat centers that offer these kinds of things. It's just no one's me, so I gotta do it myself, More questions. I guess we'll take it here. If you need help setting up a kiln or anything, I'm down, or a trap sink. All right, Emily, I am gonna need people to help build my ceramic studio, so let's be in talk, because in like 5 months from now, I'm gonna need someone to help build the kiln and everything, because I have too much going on. So please, if you wanna come here, let's work it out, because I trust you and you're a ceramics teacher, and that's such good news, because I need that help. More questions, guys. Give us the questions. I'm homesteading now, and it's been so busy. Always something to be done. I'm loving getting started. Nice. Yeah, homesteading is so satisfying. Like, I love when my work all day is simply to survive in the most sustainable way. Because when you care about sustainability, you realize what takes up your whole day is being sustainable. The reason people choose to not be sustainable is because it's so convenient. It's so convenient to not grow your own food and to not know where your energy's coming from when you plug in your phone, so that you can just focus on whatever you selfishly want to do all day. And I'm not even hating on that. It's just I get off, yo tengo ganas, doing things and taking up my day, growing my food, building with natural materials so that we're more sustainable, and it makes you tired and it fills up your whole day. Then you go to bed and do it all over again.
Yeah.
So I feel you. Let's see if we got more questions. All right, we're out of questions for now. So, Dylan, I've done most of the talking. What do you want to share? I mean, like, what's been the biggest life-changing part about living in Costa Rica versus the U.S. mentality that you've known your entire life? Because this is your first opportunity and experience living long-term in another country. So what is different about it? Good, better for worse, I guess.
Well, I'd say in the U.S. there's this mentality that, I mean, I'm from New York, and there it's like, if you don't have a car or a job, or like not working the regular 9 to 5, then you're like a loser and you're not like successful.
Wow.
And I think just the idea of success is very different between the States and somewhere like Costa Rica. Even in Hawaii, like, yeah, people had farms and stuff and they were living sustainably, but everything was very expensive, and still, if you didn't have a car, you were like a loser. And I met people that like just lived in the jungle, and like the people that lived in Hawaii, they just saw all those jungle dwellers as like bums and losers. And you do that here, and it's like, wow, you're really living life. And what we're doing would not be considered successful to like New York person's standards.
So true, like,
or LA.
Yeah, in my mind, like, literally just the life that I dream of and I'm trying to build is to have a family that I love and loves me, have all the food that we need just to eat the best food, and literally have to, quote unquote, work as little as possible so that we can simply enjoy the present moment as much as possible. And that's kind of hypocritical because I am sort of an obsessive worker. I do love to work, so it's not like I just want to sit around all day. I just don't like busy, stupid work. I want my work to be fixing the spring and growing and cooking the food and making art and continuing to make the vision better, better maracuya vines, more great whatever, but it's all revolves around just eating the best shit, having free time, and just enough money to do those things. Which, you're right, in a New York mentality, that's like saying all I want to do is I want my job to be making my apartment pretty all day. People would be like, that's so not meaningful. Yeah. That's stupid. All I want to do is make my land harmonious and beautiful and just experience nature. But again, I'm kind of lying because we're also going to be bringing people in, we're going to be educating people, and we're going to be making money off these events too. But none of it is in order to have a better car or a fancier whatever, go to better restaurants. It's all to just grow better papaya. Like, What's the point? What else is the meaning of life? Like, the things that we enjoy all day, Dylan and I, are having time to do our yoga and exercise in nature, eat the best food, and laugh with each other. Everything else is just so that we can do those things.
Yeah, to keep up with the house and our lifestyle. It's like that quote I shared with you the other day, that you should do the dishes to enjoy the tea, not do the dishes to do the dishes, you know? Like we work in the garden so that we have our own food to eat and stuff to like sustain ourselves, not just like, oh, I gotta do this, so get it done, woe is me.
Yes. I mean, this life is just as much as you put into it is as much as you're going to get out of it. So, yeah. All right, let's keep going. How do you feel about this corona situation? Madhiss asks. She's a longtime supporter, follower, friend of mine. People all over the world dealing with this new situation. Traveling won't be easy anymore, but seems that you're good. All right, so I guess let's have our little corona talk now. I guess I'll give my perspective, and then Dylan will share his, although it might be a little different and the same in many ways. But here's what I think about the situation in total. It's clear, first and foremost, super sad that a massive percentage of the human population, billions of people, are suffering worse than they, I guess, used to. Ooh. Talk real quick. Actually, you go with Corona. I want to make sure I turn the water off. I'm almost sure I did in the garden. But Dylan, I'll come back. Dylan, what do you think about Corona?
Well, yeah, like Jackson said, it kind of sucks what's happening in the world. But, you know, I think that it's hard to relate to other people because we're out here in Costa Rica, and you know, it is affected a little bit. The beaches are closed, the national parks are closed, but it's nothing like New York or Italy. My family back home in New York, they're suffering a lot. From what I hear, they can't like go outside. My father just lost his job, and like a lot of things are happening in like big cities like that. So yeah, I think it's hard to relate to them living in a place like this. But I think that it's been blown out of proportion. I don't think it's as devastating as the media makes it seem to be.
Well, do you mean it was blown out of proportion in terms of like the shutdowns and stuff?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because it's, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think obviously it's a disease and it's affecting people, and people have died. But we all know that the media likes to make things look scary and bigger than they actually are, because that's how you make money. So yeah, I just think, you know, you gotta be careful, you gotta stay healthy. This is more of a reason why you should take care of yourself and be vegan and at least eat more plants and
care
herbs.
about your immune system.
Yeah, this is a wake-up call.
Not use antibacterial products.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so my 2 cents is, yeah, first and foremost, humans are suffering. Our lifestyles have been forced to change immediately. People's jobs are out. You can't go to the same restaurants, etc. But my whole thing as an environmentalist is saying that we have become too entitled as a human population, that we think we have the right to go to sushi tonight or to get food from this country and to fill up our gas at any minute on every single street corner. And we better have people at the stores, and that's my right. What are you talking about? We've only been doing that for a tiny fraction the last 150 years, this life with fossil fuels, with massive global economies. This is the newest concept ever, and it's clearly a fucking failure. Like, everything here is nuanced. Of course, I'm not saying every city should shut down immediately, but just this idea of these huge city landscapes with a globalized food and product system, and that we can just consume as much as we want, as long as we have enough money, and that's what we're entitled to. And then when Mother Earth slaps us in the face and says, hey, get your immune system healthier, stop eating fucked up animals from wet markets, stop living in cities and be more sustainable. Thank God Mother Earth gave us that message, because I had to sit through 4 years of college learning about the life that my kids and my grandkids are gonna have to live in as global temperatures rise, as sea levels rise, as coastal cities get flooded, as the bread boxes of the world, meaning the places where most of our food is grown. As those areas shift and agricultural systems have to shift because of temperature, we're in the middle of the Anthropocene, which is the 6th biggest extinction that we have observed on our planet, and it's because of the Industrial Revolution and fossil fuels and human beings. We are completely destroying the ecosystem as the world has known it for a while, and it's because of the lifestyle we've been living, and Corona is deeply connected to that. I'm not saying if you're sustainable and a farmer you won't get Corona. That's not what I'm saying, but this is a product of a developed, overpopulated, over-civilized in a way, culture and world. Yeah. And the ways to try to let that not be as devastating in the future is to take more sovereignty and ownership of your lifestyle. And what that means is when you put food in your mouth, ask yourself, where did it get here? How did it get here? And is this the most sustainable food choice for me to make right now? I don't mean once a week. I mean every single time you eat. And you're gonna have to make sacrifices because you can no longer eat that food from many countries over as your treat if you care about sustainability. You're just gonna go to your local farmer's market and you're gonna eat enough calories that week within your local community. And that's what we are trying to do here, and what we're going to do here. And so the way you do it, is to get sustainable so that you, because think about it. Our lifestyle has not changed negatively too much. Why? Because we have bananas right there. We have local water. We've literally filled up water in the last few weeks in local streams and drinking it. Just walking outside of our house. Can you do that in your city in LA? Can you walk out of your house for 10 minutes and fill up local water?
At the LA River.
But we don't have as many movie theaters here, and we don't have sushi restaurants, and we're making these sacrifices with our lifestyle because we care about sustainability. So sustainability is the answer. If you don't want to be in the situation where you're locked up in your apartment, you have no toilet paper, and all your favorite restaurants are closed down and you're depressed, we shit outside for fun sometimes. We have an abundance of toilet paper. We have local water. Some businesses definitely shut down here, but some did not. We were not as hit as hard. We don't have mandatory stay-at-home quarantine laws. It still exists here. They're saying don't go out as much, try to reduce your social interactions, but our food is local and our water is local and we have healthy friends, and our lives aren't dependent on going to the store every day.
Yeah. We go to the store once a week.
We spend hours in the garden so that we can eat food from our garden, and what gets us off is meditation and making videos and educating ourselves and reading and playing music. So it's like when you take ownership of your lifestyle and live sustainably and live in nature, this isn't as devastating personally as if you rely on the globalized, unsustainable system in order for your happiness and for your livelihood, just keeping it real. And so this is a wake-up call. It's devastating, it's everything. It's a nuanced situation, and that's mainly what I think about it. Let's get into some conspiratorial shit. Connection to 5G and Corona. Fuck y'all. I think that's stupid. Just kidding when I say that. Like I'm down to hearing your opinion, but I've looked into it based on the people that have shared that with me, and it just seems so ignorant to me. Do I think that 5G radiation is good for you? Not at all. But do I think that it has any scientific basis to significantly harm the immune system of millions of people that live around in cities with 5G? And has it caused Corona? And is it Bill Gates, who's this rich guy who wants everyone to be drones and get sick from Corona? You guys are not educated enough, or maybe you're super intelligent and spiritual and I'm just not there and fuck me, I suck, or you're dumb, or you are too bored with your life and you are trying to make connections that don't make any sense. So that's what I think about the 5G shit. I mean, 5G is non-ionizing radiation. It's similar radiation to our headphones and to microwaves, which are different than gamma rays and X-rays, which, like, when you go through an airport, they allow you to opt out of that radiation because it has shown to penetrate the skin barrier. When you go get an X-ray, they put those blocker things on you because it's ionizing radiation. It's not an opinion that 5G and cell towers are all non-ionizing. They can't break through the skin barrier like other forms of radiation. So just get educated on the science behind radiation and stuff like that before you come up with these claims, because honestly I think it's a distraction. If all of these people are out there saying it's Bill Gates and 5G that caused corona, I'm speaking the truth here and saying, no, it's because we're eating dirty animals. It's because we're using Purell. Like, let's get real into the science. Those are the reasons I think that this is happening, not some 5G conspiracy. Dylan, am I wrong? Is my pineal gland too decalcified to see the light?
Well, I only heard recently that people think corona is caused by 5G, and I never thought that. That never felt like into
Coronaviruses have been around for decades, even before 5G was created.
Yeah, but I do believe that 5G technology is harmful. I don't think it causes corona or any like immunodeficient disease. But I think I saw a case where this kid lived in a top floor of an apartment, and there was a 5G tower on top of the roof, and he got like cancer or something. So yeah, I don't know. I do think it's harmful.
Correlation is not causation. That's an anecdotal example, but it's good information to look into.
Yeah. I don't think it's good, but I do think
Probably not.
I do think that there's a conspiracy that this virus is going around just so that vaccines could be put out and pharmaceutical companies can make money, which makes sense. Pharmaceutical companies always want to make money.
But you can't. Okay, so there's two options here. There's either a chance that pharmaceutical companies, which are corrupt, money-making, whatever, they could, like a new virus could come and they have to work in order to create a vaccine, which will make them a lot of money, but also could save lives, and clearly they're just trying to get people a vaccine so they don't get susceptible to corona.
Yeah, but why are they working on a vaccine and not a cure? So that they
We
can
don't
keep-
have cures to viruses. I'm healthy. I get sick from viruses. I've gotten strep throat, and so when viruses exist, you can't cure that.
I saw that they found the cure to coronavirus, and it's like, I can't pronounce it, but it's this chemical strain, and they're not like talking about it because, and again, it makes sense. They want to make vaccines are only made so that they could delay the effects, keep you coming back. You know, a patient cured is a customer lost.
I think it's so
How
much
is
more.
that not true?
Here's how it's not. I don't feel like that's exactly true. There are vaccines for smallpox, chickenpox, many things that if you don't get the vaccine, you're more susceptible to getting it, and you could get sick, you could die, or you could just get sick. And what a vaccine is a small dose of that sickness so that your body reacts to it, develops the antibodies so that when your friend coughs on you with something, your body already knows how to deal with it and it has a better chance of fighting it off.
Yeah, but
And
there's
vaccines have saved so many people
There's
in our overpopulated world.
There's also formaldehyde, mercury, all types of crappy chemicals that mess up your neurology.
Right, but it's about balancing it out. So let's
so you
think
rather
of
be brain dead?
Dude, I've had vaccines. Am I brain dead?
If you have enough, you could. And plus, you're old. Like a new baby born in this age, they have to get up to 25 vaccines after 5 minutes of birth.
Well, there's really, really smart 15-year-olds who are probably jacked up with vaccines and didn't get autism, and they're really smart, cool Gen X people. All I'm saying is I've looked into it, and while I'm not even saying my choice of vaccines, like for me or my family, I'm going to be totally honest, I wouldn't call myself an eco-fascist in any way, but I'm this kind of weird person where I can totally see why vaccines are something that humans do in terms of trying to keep this massive population from getting totally wiped out by crazy diseases, especially in developing countries where people might not have the best immune system or access to nutrition or access to hospitals. So you give them this vaccine and millions of people are going to be less susceptible to getting wiped out by something. But at the same time, because I have this privileged situation of being who I am and into health and sustainability and privilege, I might choose to not vaccinate myself or my family and kids because I want to take the risk and do things naturally and not have to take in those chemicals and things. But I can also see why, in terms of a global scale, that I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's people just trying to manipulate and let's get everyone stupid with vaccines and give people autism. It's literally trying to make people like not die of viruses and malaria. That's my opinion. Maybe I have accepted the corporate control too much.
Yeah, well, the CDC was just sued because they were saying that vaccines do not cause autism, and someone brought them to the Supreme Court, and they lost. They got
Really?
Yeah, they lost the case. The Supreme
All right,
Court.
gotta look into that.
Supreme Court ruled that they're not allowed to say that vaccines do not cause autism because there's been so many cases of vaccines causing autism.
Really?
Yeah, it was a big case.
All right, something to look into. Anyways, let's see if we got more questions. Oh, that was fun. What is your opinion on vaccines? Well, we kind of just talked about that. Excellent thoughts about vaccines, Jackson. Thanks, Madness. You always see things from many different sides. Yeah, I appreciate that. I do my best. All right, more questions, guys. Give it to us. There's not many people on the stream. Oh, it might be glitchy because we're running out of battery. You know what? We're going to shut it down. This has been a long video. Much love, Dream Extreme. Go find Just Eat Nature on Instagram, Dylan. And we're going to be posting videos daily on the YouTube channel for you guys. Vlogs, cooking videos, permaculture videos, and live chats like this. Anything else you need to say to the people?
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
Nice. Wow.
Nice. At 100 people. I'll share that to the story.
As soon as we talked about conspiracy theories.
Whatever, man. We're not here to give the people exactly what they want. We're just here to be ourselves, and if that's what you want, then you're going to stay. That's all we can try to do.
How long was that?
That was 42 minutes.
Wow.
And now we'll flip the camera for those people who stuck around. Here's where we've been filming. You've been in your room looking at us on a screen. We've been out here. Sorry, not sorry. Come to the retreat if you want to come enjoy.